I really wanted to do a video about this because this is something that's extremely important to me. Um, People are very adamant about diets and dieting and what people should and shouldn't be eating. I think that there's way too much emphasis put on diets to lose weight or for whatever reason. If your doctor is telling you to eat a certain way, then yeah, you should eat a certain way. If you feel that you need to be eating a certain way because that's what you believe, then that's what you should be doing. But I think a lot of people are feel like they're pushed into having to be a certain way or eat a certain thing or things like that. And it really bothers me. Um, People eat. It's one of the most important things that we do. People are really confused by eating and food. In first world countries, there's a lot of stigma and a lot of confusion as to what's food and what's a meal and what should we be eating and why. And the thing is, it used to be we would eat what we would find hunting and gathering. If we didn't know if something was good to eat, we'd watch the animals eating it, or we'd feed it to the least liked member of our tribe, and that's how we knew what to eat. And we followed the food. We followed the migration patterns of birds and animals and fish. We ate what was in season, and we started settling down and creating tribes and villages and towns and cities and countries, and we started farming and stopped hunting as often, partially because if we went out hunting, it takes away from farm time, which farming is very hard. It takes up all of your freaking time except during the winter, and then it takes up like 2/3 of your time. You don't have a lot of time to go out hunting. Plus, the other reason is most of the wild game belonged to the lord that owned the land. So if you went out and shot a deer or trapped a pheasant or in some places even went fishing, you could lose your hand, you could get branded, you could even die. So it was better to stay at home and farm and take care of the animals you had, and you would raise them not for meat but for milk and for eggs, and you would only kill them for meat when they'd stopped laying eggs and stopped producing milk. Only the gentry, only the wealthy people were able to eat meat regularly because they could afford to. They were receiving the tithes and the taxes of the populace and the income from the land, and they could hunt the game. They could eat meat all the time. Today, in first world countries, we have the option to eat what we want. For the most part, the average person has enough food and a vast mix of different cultures to draw from to be able to cook that food however they want. Yeah, we may sometimes have to be on food stamps, and yeah, we may sometimes not be able to eat filet mignon whenever we want to, or lobster, but you know what? They ain't that great. Only reason I've tasted most of that is because I'm a cook, and professionally, that's what you do. You taste it to make sure you know what it tastes like so you can season it properly, so you know that it's served properly. But we have options. We could eat meat every day for every meal, and some people do. It's not encouraged, but some people do. We could become vegetarians and vegans without needing to do it for medical reasons, for just our choice, for our own mental decision, not our health reasons, just to do it. We have that option. We're told to be careful of the food that we eat and how much meat, and should it be organic or fair trade, free range, what is it that we're supposed to be eating? And I really believe that everything in moderation, including moderation. I'm not going to tell you to eat vegetarian or vegan. I'm not going to tell you to go and get organic food or free range or anything like that. I'm here because of the love of food. All food. The reason I say that we should eat less meat is our ancestors ate less, and there's something to be said for eating closer to how our ancestors ate. When you eat something less frequently, when you do eat it again, you end up enjoying it more. Like with sweets, most people don't eat just handfuls of their favorite sweet. They save it for a special occasion. Same thing with meat. If you really enjoy it, save it for something special. Don't dull it by eating it every day. And last but not least, meat's really expensive. We're all supposed to be eating more vegetables and fruits than we already do. So if that's the case, then why not replace 3 or 4 or even 5 meals a week with either a completely vegetable dinner or a reduced meat meal?